What is up, everyone? House of the Dragon, the teaser trailer is here. Fire and Blood is here. Now, before I jump into any of that, headphone warning. I will be getting so excited in this video, and if you were watching it using headphones, you may want to adjust the audio volume to like a 5. Right now, I'm at like an 11. Oh my god. Alright, so before we jump into any of that, please do me a massive favor. House of the Dragon season here. The long night is almost over, so make sure you're subscribed, turn those notifications on. Then also, slap a like on this video. The like goal is going to be 42069. Alright. Now, the very first, 5 milliseconds of the trailer, we get Daemon walking down a dark hallway. This looks like the Dragon Glass Cave on Dragonstone, so I'm assuming with the somber music, which, in my opinion, is fucking perfect. It's literally like... But they slowed it down. They made it dramatic. They made it sort of very eerie sounding, and I think it's perfect because we do get glimpses of Daenerys' theme in the end. So basically, I think this scene is Daemon walking, after landing on his dragon Caraxes and meeting with Rhaenyra on the beach. We got several different images that were leaked during the filming season, which is still ongoing, and it appears that the two of them will have a conversation. This is most likely when the news of Viserys' death has reached them. Obviously, we have Rhaenyra showing up in the kingdom with, it appears to be, the Velaryons and Rhaenys and Laenor, her, potential husband. It appears as though they're showing up at a tourney where, King Viserys is having Alicent. Everyone is there. This appears like it's in King's Landing. Then we'll get, shots of her and Laenor walking on the beach. And then that's when we get, this callback to this scene from the actual trailer of Daemon walking to meet up with Rhaenyra in a somber scene on the beach. Then at about 16 seconds into the trailer, we get a shot of Balerion. This is insane. Balerion is the biggest dragon to ever have flown, and he was actually ridden by Aegon during the conquest of the 7 kingdoms. King Viserys, Rhaenyra's father, actually rode Balerion in his youth, but then Balerion dies. This looks like this is going to be one of the scenes from that funeral. We see candles around a dead dragon. Balerion perhaps most likely dies of old age. Another thing of note is that Viserys, Queen Rhaenyra's father, the Princess of Dragonstone, never rides another dragon again after Balerion passes, and we do see him holding Blackfire in the trailer. Holy shit, I'll talk about that in a second. And then after that shot of Balerion, we get a voiceover of who I'm assuming is Sir Otto Hightower, and he says, "Gods, kings," may actually be Matt Smith, but when they say God, it's Sir Otto adjusting his hand to the kingpin, and then it cuts to, Viserys on the Iron Throne holding Blackfire. Holy fucking shit, Blackfire, you look amazing, baby. I can't wait to see you in action. It's gonna be interesting because Daemon has Dark Sister, and supposedly Blackfire at one point is held by Aegon and then Aemon. So it's oh my god, this is perfect. I just want to stop right here and say thank you, Ryan Condal. Thank you, Miguel Sapochnik. Thank you, of course, to the Lord Commander of this universe, George R. R. Martin. It's coming together. Alright, now let me continue on before the commenters let me know how much of a slight case of autism I have. Now, it's interesting because whoever's doing that voiceover, it says kings. Aegon, Viserys grasps Blackfire and sort of clutches and tightens his fist. If I had to guess, this would be hearing news of his brother Daemon doing something that Daemon is famous for, whether it be, leaving the small council, doing some treacherous shit down in the Stepstones. This is most likely the king hearing news of his brother, and he's not too happy about it. Now, one thing I will say is this trailer is sort of leading with the deception. It's making this series look a lot darker than it actually is in the beginning. Now, most of these clips that we see in the trailer are obviously from the first couple of episodes. Traditionally, with Game of Thrones, they may even be all from the first episode, like from the first half of the episode. And with that being said, this first season is going to be somewhat happy. Like, when Viserys took over after King Jaehaerys, his grandfather, the realm was peaceful. Viserys had an amiable nature, and he was known as somewhat of a party king. So we're going to get to see a happy Westeros at first, and then obviously when the dragons start dying and the dance really kicks off when they flash forward to the main timeline, obviously things are going to be a lot darker. But in the beginning of this series, we're going to get to see something we've never really seen before with the main series, and that's prolonged happiness. Like, the kingdom isn't about to blow the shit quite yet. I mean, like it is, but in Game of Thrones, it hops off a lot faster. You know, it starts literally with the death of Jon Arryn, whereas with this show, we can kind of have a gradual build to, it's going to be so fucking amazing. Please, just while I have your attention, slap a like on this video. The like goal is going to be 420. Continuing on here, now right when the narrator of the trailer says fire, we get Rhaenyra, and it's a younger Rhaenyra, and she's wearing this very Medici-looking crown. Now, we got to remember that this is 200 years, nearly, before, you know, Daenerys comes over and conquers Westeros in the main series timeline. So, their gowns, their crowns, the castles, the keeps, people in general are going to look different. This is at a time period before the Targaryen dynasty was wiped out. They're at the height of their power, their influence, their dragons, everything about them is supreme. So they have extra time to make these extravagant headpieces and gowns. Like, this is, for someone like me, this is fucking super exciting, because one of the things that immerses you more in this world is how realistic these characters' costumes look. It puts you in that time period. Now, Rhaenyra is actually in front of the Iron Throne in this shot, and then the next shot we get is of the candles being blown out, and I think that's a blurry House Targaryen banner. They're basically just trying to insinuate, you know, like, this is the downfall of the Targaryens. It starts way back when Rhaenyra was a youth and wore the infamous red and black gown and became the Blacks, and then, you know, Queen Alicent wore a green gown, traditional to House Hightower, and she became the Greens. So their respective parties are known as the Greens versus the Blacks during when the war kicks off. I've seen this trailer like 30 times and I keep getting chills. Oh my gosh. And the next one is of Rhaenyra walking up to meet with Daemon on the beach, and this is older Rhaenyra, so this is in the main timeline, and the darkness on the screen shows you that this is like breaking dawn. This is breaking the dusk of the war. It's so fucking intense in Rhaenyra. Emma D'Arcy, the actress who plays that character, is fucking spot on. Just that facial expression of her looking concerned over towards Daemon. It's blowing me. Oh, this show is going to be so amazing. Y'all, what are we going to do when the official trailer drops? My head is going to explode. It's going to melt. This is insane. Now, the background audio sort of sounds like a leather belt tightening, but that's actually a dragon snarling, and it shows Daemon's face sort of reacting to that. Matt Smith was the perfect casting for Prince Daemon. He literally is embodying the dragon, baby. And then we get a shot of Prince Daemon fighting at Attorney. Now, they don't tell us it's Prince Daemon in the trailer, but when you combine it with these leaked images that we have of Daemon with his helm off, we know that this is his armor. Now, the person he's fighting at this tourney is sort of like a no-name dude because, in my opinion, the snapshots of his armor in the background are sort of very basic. So this could be a tourney where Daemon's winning, and then obviously he faces off against Sir Criston Cole and is defeated. Like, supposedly Criston Cole takes a Morning Star and cracks, you know, the details, my brain is foggy right now, I'm still partly waking up, but basically Dark Sister is removed from Daemon's hand in one of these tourney shots, not necessarily in this trailer, but coming up in the show. Then we have a shot of Corlys the Sea Snake, and then we have all of the Valyrians arriving at this tourney that younger Rhaenyra arrived in early in the trailer. Look at their fucking attire! Golden! Golden! I think that's meant to show you that House Valyrian at this time is number 2 in the kingdom. They are right up there with House Targaryen. They are just as strong, similar to the Lannisters and the Baratheons during the main series. This is fucking epic. The shot is so awesome. I will say that Rhaenyra and Eve Best really steal the scene for me in these moments. Eve Best is, of course, playing Rhaenys. Now, the next shot we get of, you know, Rhaenyra and her father, and I believe that's maybe Harwin Strong sitting at this trailer. It's interesting because Rhaenyra is already there. She's wearing a very similar dress that Daenerys wore in, I think, season 2, maybe season 3. It's that, like, off-the-shoulder kind of thing, but it looks as though this is where Rhaenyra may actually, like, be proposed as Rhaenyra's potential mate. It looks like, you know, House Valyrian is showing up to keep company with the king, and the amount of empty seats at that table makes me think that this may be one of the first meetings that Rhaenyra and Rhaenyra have, knowing that they're going to be getting married soon. Remember, we have those leaked shots of them walking on the beach, and that's going to be big callbacks to when she's older and walking on the beach with Daemon, right before the two of them get together and the dance really kicks off. These next couple shots, fucking, I didn't even notice this when I was breaking down, like when I was doing my reaction to it, but Alicent is holding cat's paw, and she's walking up to what appears to be something that might be a struggle. I don't know if she's going to use the knife, but she may be using it to blame someone. Maybe this knife is the one that's used in Blood and Cheese. Maybe the Blood and Cheese scene is happening in the first season, and maybe that's what the main timeline is going to be focusing on, is like all of the crazy events that really kick off the war, and then we'll get flashbacks to sort of slow the pacing down and give us a breath of fresh air, and we'll find out more in depth about why these events are so much more traumatic. Oh! Then we get a shot of Mysaria, the White Worm. Now, if you want some more in-depth information on who she is, she's basically a female version of Varys. She's the mistress of Whisperers for Daemon, and then later Rhaenyra. Check the link down below in the description, or just go look on my YouTube channel. I recently covered who her character is. Then we get like a tourney shot where there's like horses that are riding at each other. Now, luckily, I paused it frame by frame because look at this, baby! House Stark is going to be brought in earlier than we thought. Cregan Stark's casting has not been announced, but it appears as though House Stark may be at this tourney and present. I think I actually saw some Bolton banners as well. You all let me know what you think about that down below in the comment section. Okay, now this is where the trailer really picks up, because it's wrapping up like towards the end of it. But I figured out that that person doing the voiceover, the Gods, Kings, that's actually Matt Smith. That's definitely Matt Smith. But at this point, we see that Rhaenyra is dueling with one of his lovers. This is most likely that quarrel that gets one of Rhaenyra's lovers injured, and then, you know, we sort of know what happens with his character. I'm not going to spoil it here in this video, but then we have one of my favorite shots from this teaser trailer, and that's Rhaenyra walking up to the new and improved Iron Throne, what it's more traditionally supposed to look like. Now, mind you, in the books, it's actually like a towering metal mass that was built by blacksmiths and not architects, so it doesn't necessarily look structurally sound. It's just a big mass of swords, and then when you climb up the stairs, you're towering over your subjects. They didn't go all out, but they added way more swords, and it makes sense because this is 200 years. So anything that happens in between, you know, in the adaptation storyline, in between then and the main show, well, obviously they've been removed. Robert obviously took some of the dragon skulls and moved them down to the basement, so I think this is keeping in line with that. And this Iron Throne is this Iron Throne is fucking amazing. It looks like Rhaenyra is just sort of taking a tour of it. This is obviously younger Rhaenyra, and it looks like she has a Kingsguard. Perhaps Graham McTavish's character is with her in the background, sort of showing her off her seat of power, what will eventually be hers. She is the Princess of Dragonstone in this time. Now, in this shot, I think Rhaenyra is actually walking up to her father, Viserys. Viserys is going to have the long Targaryen hair, and maybe this could even be Matt Smith sitting on the throne, because he's doing the voiceover saying, like, dreams didn't make us kings, dragons did, right? So it's a very insinuating, in my opinion, that this scene could be where Daemon maybe manipulates his niece from a younger age. Daemon supposedly taught her how to please a man, so this could be what that scene is. Maybe they have like a bit of a one-on-one chat in the Iron Throne with Daemon sitting as the king and Rhaenyra, who's always looked up to her uncle because Daemon treats her special. He always brings her gifts from across the narrow sea whenever he comes back from these journeys of being, you know, the Targaryen fuckboy, having all of the ladies just bending over for him. He basically always treats Rhaenyra special. So this could be one of those scenes where he's having a one-on-one chat with her, and the power dynamic is interesting because he's sitting in the Iron Throne, even though she's Princess of Dragonstone. She's the one who's next in line for the Iron Throne. Now, that's pretty much the end of the trailer. It's interesting because the voiceover of Matt Smith doing that, he sounds so much like Ramsay Bolton. It's crazy. Then we had, you know, the flash of the Targaryen sigil fully re-envisioned, the flames in the background, and then, of course, coming 2022. Now, this is a good point to wrap this video up. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you could, please, you enjoy what I do here, slap a like on this video. The like goal is going to be 420, and then also make sure you subscribe and turn those notifications on. I release daily House of the Dragon content and have been doing so for the past 3 months. So if you enjoy that, make sure you subscribe and turn those notifications on. I want to thank you all so much for watching. My name's Mark, and this has been Sir Hunt's Long Night is coming to an end. Reviews. Fuck yes.